Hi, this is Debbie with Book and BuJo. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've been here before. Today is September 1st, and I'm starting off my vlog for September to see if I can get through all of my readathons. I did decide on dates for 2 different sprints that I'll be doing, and I did get those posted so you can see what they are. So we'll have a Saturday sprint on September 6th, and that one will be at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, that would be 12:30 p.m. And then the other one will be September 18th, and that one will be at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, so 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Today was really fun. My husband and I went on a short little hike, and we kind of did some off-roading a little bit in the 4-wheel drive around the Prescott National Forest. It was beautiful, and it was so nice just to sit. And So I used to live in the Prescott National Forest when I lived at the summer camp that I was at. And it was so nice to kind of get back in the trees and just hear the wind going through the trees. Like, you can't feel the wind because it's way up top, but you can hear it rustling through the tops of the pine trees. Oh, it's lovely. I love it. So I guess instead of off-roading, we went 4-wheel driving around some of the roads back in there, and it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, it was great. I'm almost done with To Green Angel Tower Part 1. So I should have that finished in the next day, hopefully today. I have an hour and a half left, I think. But it's already getting late and we're getting ready to make dinner. So I don't know how much I'll be able to finish tonight, but I should finish it at least tomorrow morning before my mom and I go shopping. Happy Labor Day, everyone. I'm also finishing, I'm 80-ish, 81% of the way through Tucked Away, which was by Neil Parrish, I believe. And that one's Lives Entwined in Kind, Tucked Away, I think is the full title. And I'm 81% of the way through, and that was my NetGalley book for August. So I'm not sure if I can count that for my September NetGalley since I'm 80% of the way through already. But yeah, we'll see. And then I also realized that the NetGalley book I did choose, The Hero's Equinox. It's the 3rd book in a series. I do own the 1st book, so I could read that one, but I don't have the 2nd book. So I decided not to borrow that one, which will help my TBR because that was like 800 pages or something. So that'll help a little bit. And I'm getting a different one instead. And that's called The Story of Oog, O-O-G, and that's by Len Valos, I think. I will put the cover up here with the correct author's name in case I got that wrong. But it looks interesting. It doesn't really have, like, the cover looks interesting. There's not really much description about anything else, but the title sounds kind of interesting. And yeah, so I'm going to get that one instead of The Hero's Equinox. And then I did start Reckoning. So I actually started it yesterday a little bit, but I read kind of the catch-up. There's a little mini chapter at the beginning that kind of goes through what has happened so far to kind of catch you up a little bit. And then it has a couple of preludes, I guess you could say. They're not called that. So we have the story so far, and then it's In the Depths, and then The False Autumn, and then we get into chapter 1. So I am on the False Autumn, so I'm almost starting chapter 1, but I figured that wasn't cheating by starting early because that was kind of a catch-up and whatever. So I read the catch-up stuff yesterday, and then today I started it on kind of like the little prelude. So I feel like that was a fair game. So yeah, I slept in this morning, got up late for me. I got up around 7, so that's late for me. And then I just did some busy work, and then we did our little hike and drive, and then came back and had some snacks for kind of a little bit of a late lunch, and then now we're gonna grill some burgers and maybe watch a movie and just have a nice evening. So I will see you guys again tomorrow. It is Tuesday, September 2nd, and I did finish The Green Angel Tower Part 1, so I got the first one done. I still need to read the second part. So I think this is Siege and the other one is Storm. So I did get this one done, but I do need to get the other one finished. I also finished Tucked Away by Mel Parrish, and that one was so good. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. It wasn't like some epic, amazing thing, but it was fun. It was very interesting. Like the characters are intriguing. I like the storyline, and the writing was easy to read. So not really, I wouldn't necessarily say like a popcorn read where it's just some fun fluff that is entertaining and gives your brain a break, but it's not like an epic fantasy. So it's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's like very enjoyable, and I really hope there's a second book because I want to continue with the series. And then yesterday I did say I started Reckoning, so I'm still reading that one. I'm about 4% of the way through. It's like 800 and something pages, so it'll be a while on that one. And then this morning, since I finished Tucked Away this morning, I did need to get another book, and so I picked up A Time of Dread by John Gwynne, and I also have that on my Kindle here, and I am on chapter 4, Drem, and I'm enjoying it. It's definitely interesting. I think my brain is a little bit more into Reckoning because that one is one of my priority reads for this year, one that I was really looking forward to. So I'm kind of into that one just a little bit more, but I am enjoying A Time of Dread as well. I do like John Gwynne's writing. And then I went to the library today and picked up all my library books. There's a lot. Let's show you. I think I've shown a couple of these because I got these last week, but I'll show you all of them. So The River Has Roots, and this is by Amal El Motar, and this one is the group book for the House of Arcane, I believe. And then I also got Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. I'm looking, this one's volume 1, so I'm looking forward to getting into this one. I've heard so many good things about it, and this book is heavy. I don't know if it's just because like the binding on it is, the hardcover is like hefty. And then, I mean, there's a lot of pages too, but I just feel like the quality of the paper and everything, like whatever this cost, like it'd be worth it. It's a good quality book, regardless of what the story is. And then I did get in The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, and I love that the library gets some of the special editions. It's kind of fun. Just I like the colored pages on it. Yeah. Looking forward to getting into that one. And then I also got, I showed this one already, but A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher, and I love the trees on here. And then of course it has like the moon and the sun. Yeah. Circles if you're looking for that. And this is the group book for The Order of the Crescent for Magic Readathon. And then I got Fangs. I'm definitely interested in this one. I like the black edges too. So this one's going to be a lot of fun. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. Not recently, but in the past I've heard a lot of good things about this one. And then I got The Sandman of Volume 2 by, you know, that guy. And I'm looking forward to this one too. I enjoyed the first one, and but like the introduction and stuff, like look how tiny that print is. That is just tiny. But so it takes most of the time spent in this volume or in this series is reading kind of some of the extra things because the print is so tiny. Like the actual comics, it's like normal print, but there's a lot of like forward, afterward and stuff. There's a lot of writing in it. Let me arrange these so I can actually pick them up again later. And I'm also excited about this one, and this one's Monstrous Volume 1, and this is by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. And this one also is one that I've heard a lot of good things about, and I am excited to get into this one. Okay, and then also, let's see, to go along with this one, I have never gotten this before, so I was looking at my library and they have like the e-audiobook, and then they have the audiobook on CD and that kind of thing. And then they have a thing called Playaway. I'm like, I don't know what Playaway is. I was just kind of assuming that it was another digital audiobook. It is not. It's very interesting. So it doesn't come with its own headphones, but when you open it, it's actually a little player. So you stick your headphones into the jack and then you can play it. You can turn the volume up and down. There's 5 different audiobook speeds on here, so you can actually speed it up if you normally listen to it 1.5, 2 times speed, whatever. I am super excited about this. And it's kind of fun to find something new, and it has the instructions on how to use it in there, so I may be utilizing Playaway a little more often. Kind of fun. And I like that I have the physical book to go with it, so I can kind of immersion read it. That'll be fun. Okay, and then I got Ragna Crimson, and this one is by Oiki Hobayashi, and this is gonna be a lot of fun. I've heard some excellent things about this one from Jashii Reads. Loved it. So I am really looking forward to that one. And it'll be nice to have a lot of comics and graphic novels on my TBR because I think I added it all up and I think it's 20,000 pages. Yeah, that I'm supposed to read in September. And I haven't been doing very well so far these first couple days, but yeah. And I did get in Loath to Love You, and this one is for the Magical Readathon for an emotion in the title. And these are all by Ali Hazelwood. There's 3 different novellas in here. So Stuck With You, Under One Roof, and Below Zero. And then for one of the book clubs, I think it's a Welsh reader, and that is Home Is Where the Bodies Are. And this is by Geneva Rose. Don't know anything about this, but the quotes on the back, we've got Colleen Hoover, Ashley Flowers, Peter Swanson, Lisa Gardner, Stacey Willingham, Ashley Winstead, Mary Kubica, and then of course Lisa Jewell on the front. So good authors. And they apparently all like that book, so I'm looking forward to it. And then I didn't realize how big this book was going to be. Like, it's very tall. So let's get a normal size. Well, I guess this one's pretty tall too, so they're about the same height. But I wasn't expecting it to be quite this big. And that's What If, and this is Randall Munroe. And it's, what is it? Serious scientific answers to absurd hypothetical questions. And this is the group book for the BuJo Buddies Book Club. And I just turned to one page and like, the font is like, that's, so it looks like there's a lot of pages, but there's a lot of diagrams and big font and things like that. So it looks like it's going to be fun. And I think I have an audiobook for this as well. So that'll be nice to kind of listen to it while I read through. This, I think this one's be best done immersion reading. Okay, so that is all of the books from my library. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to buy all of these, because that would have been expensive. But while I was at the library, my mom and I went to the little the library sale section, and they had not only the orange dots, but the little green dots were also books for 25 cents. Let me show you what I found. So I did find 2 books by Philip Pullman, and from one series, The Amber Spyglass and The Subtle Knife. So that's going to be kind of fun to go through these. I've heard some good things about Philip Pullman, but I've never read any of his books. So, and then I got Great Expectations by Charles Dickens for only $0.25. And then I got this one just because it looked interesting. It was $0.25. So it used to be $1.50, and then it was $1, and now it's $0.25. So that's nice. And this is The Ruins of Evermore, The Timelight Awakenings by David J. Securi. I don't know anything about this. Oh, it was personalized and signed by the author to whoever this was in 2012. Yeah, I can't read that at all. Something Evermore. Yeah, no idea what it actually says, but that's kind of fun. Oh, and this is book 1, so that's good. Usually in that like quarter section, there's a lot of like book 2s and 3s. There's one book by Jim Butcher from the Dresden Files, but I think it's book 3. And I haven't seen any other Jim Butcher books in there. So I'm like, do I want to buy just book 3? I don't know. But then again, I did just buy. So they have books 1 and 2, but they're still like $2. I know, sounds so expensive. And it's super cheap, but I did buy book 5 in the series. I've never read any of them, but they do have book 1 and 2, and they have a couple copies of them for sale, so I can pick them up. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get to them, but for some reason, I broke down and bought one of them because it was 25 cents and it was book 5, and that is A Dance with Dragons by George R. R. Martin. So I haven't read any of the books in this series. I actually haven't read anything by him. I did watch the first season and a little bit of the second season before my husband and I decided to not watch it anymore. We liked the story and stuff, but there was just too much other stuff visually that we didn't want to watch. So we DNF'd the series, but book-wise it might be a little better. I don't know. And if I end up not getting to it, I can just put it in a little free library, and someone else can be very excited to pick this one up. So that's why I decided to get it. And they do have the first book in the series there, so maybe someday. So after going to the library and the grocery store, my mom and I just came back here and watched a little YouTube TV. So she likes Acre Homestead and Nard Dog, and there's just some fun foodie channels out there that we like to watch. And for some reason, I am just tired today. Went to bed a little bit late, and we had a lot of fun. You know, we didn't really hike a whole lot. We hiked for maybe about 20 minutes or so, but just four-wheeling around in my husband's truck and just having fun. And so yeah, I'm just tired. So I think I'm just gonna chill and read for the rest of the day, because I have a lot of books to read. So I will see y'all again tomorrow. Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, September 3rd, and I am currently on sprints on Melanie's channel, so Completely Melanie for Seasonathon Academy, and I'm reading A Time of Dread by Gwynne. I am making progress. I'm just over a quarter of the way through, so 32% of the way through, and I am really liking it. So I'm on a drum chapter, and I am wearing my Scooby hat because while I'm not officially taking part in the Scooby-Doo Readathon, I love Scooby-Doo and I thought it was so much fun. So I do have my glasses on for Velma and my hat on. This is kind of a nod to Shaggy and to Scooby, since Scooby's on here, but this seems more like a Shaggy hat to me if he would be wearing a hat. So for Scooby, it says have a snack while you read your book, and I actually ate breakfast while I read my book, so I mean that kind of counts. And then for Velma, A Time of Dread does have orange on the cover, and there is a strong female lead, so that's where I'm going for that right now. I'm also kind of starting to update some spreadsheets, and I got a couple of reviews done yesterday, so I was very happy about that. I'm focusing on my NetGalley books first to get those reviews written, and then I will start doing some of my other ones. So it felt good to sit down yesterday and do a couple of reviews. They do take me a while because I got to think about them and write and rewrite and edit, and yeah, sometimes I overthink, and yeah. But I did get a couple done, so I'm proud of myself for that. And then my plans for my TBR this month. What I'm doing is taking my Readathon Rebellion prompts. So that's the game board, and then the prompts that I got there. And I'm trying to read those in order, but also making sure that they're in order for Magical Readathon. So if it's a D book, I need to stop with Readathon Rebellion and do the O and the Q for Magical Readathon, and then come back and do that book that was a D. So that's kind of my plan, and that'll be my plan throughout. And I was kind of planning on doing more dice rolls and going through the TBR Rebellion again, or a Readathon Rebellion, but I may go through and just draw random cards. I haven't decided yet. I want to fit those, like the O and the Q books, or like some of the books from Magical Readathon that I don't have into Readathon Rebellion in there. I want to make sure I get those in there so I don't come upon a prompt later and be like, oh, that's the only book that fits, and I already read it because of that. So I want to try and combine those two so they work together. I may go ahead and just do a couple of rolls now and fit in a couple more of those books just to make sure that I get those read. So I don't know if I'll do a full roll through the whole board or just do a couple rolls. We'll see. But right now I am still reading, like I said, A Time of Dread. I'm also still reading Reckoning. That one is an ebook, and I don't have an audio at all for that because it's not released yet. And that one's going to take a while because it's almost 900 pages. So that one will take me a while to get through the whole thing. I'll probably be reading that throughout the entire month. And that one is a Q prompt, I believe. I have one book that I need to read before I finish that one. But I'm going to say I'm kind of prepping for that class by reading on my summer break kind of feel. Because my other book's only like 108 pages, and I'll get through that one really quickly. And I do have plans to read that fairly soon. But I also have Reckoning on my Readathon Rebellion TBR. So I need to make sure I get that finished before I get to it on the board, because it's fairly soon. Where is it? It was my 10th out of 12 rolls, so I do have quite a few books I can read before I need to finish that one. So that's good. Plus there's a book on here in the last spot from Readathon Rebellion that I need to read because it's the first in the series, and I have the second in the series on my TBR also. So I need to make sure I get that one finished before I can get to the other ones. let's go ahead and do a couple rolls and then we'll come back and see what I pick. All right, so let's go ahead and do a couple more rolls for my second round through Readathon Rebellion board. So roll number 1. Oh, and if I land on the objective, I'll just roll again because I already have those all in there. So roll number 1 is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So objective I've already done, so we'll just roll again. All right, next roll. A 1. So that is a side quest. Oh, I forgot to pull the cards out. Okay, so we've got the roadblocks, training cards, info gathering, and the side quests. All right, so roll number 1 is a side quest. Yes, you may be diviners, but that alone may not be enough to get the Silent Spectre out alive. You're going to need weapons, and probably a lot of them. Raid the Order's armory. Read a book with a weapon on the cover. All right, next roll. A 2. 1, 2. That is a roadblock. Whoops. You've heard tales that on this journey you are likely to encounter all sorts of creatures. The mountains are full of worm-like creatures that can eat you in one bite. Yikes. They have thousands of teeth and are said to smell like death itself. Ugh. The woods have bears that are as big as a house and can spit acid. Read a book featuring a monster as a character. All right, next roll. 2. 1, 2. It's going to take us a while to get out of here with that. Not only is the mountain full of guards, but you've done your research so you know exactly what the worm-like creatures are and how to get rid of them. Well, that's good. Go ahead of the group and dispatch the monsters. Read a book with a creature on the cover. I feel like those are kind of similar. All right, next roll. A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Info gathering. Well, at least we've almost got one of each. You've camped for the night and everyone is looking to blow off a little steam. It's time to go around the fire and share some embarrassing stories. Read a book you wouldn't want someone next to you on the plane to see. Let's just keep rolling and see if we can get a training one. 6, awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Objective 2, already done that one. Next one, a 2. Oh, so close. 1, 2. Side quest. Training was right before it. Whoops, that was 2. A member of your team is feeling rather homesick on the long journey. You find out that he has a wife at home and is hoping to get back before the birth of their first child. You decide to find him a baby gift to carry back once the mission is over. Read a comfort book or genre. Let's see, where's next training? Oh, I need a 3. Yep, 3, and the next one is a 7, so it doesn't work. 1, info gathering. Hey, we landed on that one last time. It is important to find out everything you can about the prison. You're sent ahead as a scout to gather information and see how many guards and weapons they have. Read a book ending in an even page number. So now I need a 2 or a 6. 2 or a 6. A 1. Roadblock. It just wants me to finish this game, apparently. You need information that only a guard can give you. Bribe a retired member of the Ancestor Guard for information. Have a pet pick your book. If you don't have a pet, family or friends will work too. So I need a 1 or a 5. 1 or a 5. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another roadblock. So if we get to the end and we haven't pulled a training card, I'm just going to pull one. You managed to bribe the guards successfully. Well, that's good. They tell you that the lock on the Silent Spectre's door is tricky. You have a lockpick in your group, but that's going to take a while. You decide to try and steal the key. Read a book from another challenge. So a 1 or a 5. 1 or a 5. And at that point, we're almost done, so a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another roadblock. You've got the map needed for the journey, but now that you're trying to read it, it's in code. You need to help decipher some of the more obscure areas. Read a book with a number or special character in the title. All right, so again, a 1, 2, or a 5. Hey, a 1, awesome. Finally got a training one. I have a lot of those left. Each order has a special ability and each requires its own focus to hone. The hand, read a book you had to require. The eye, read a book featuring a supernatural element. Or the heart, read a book featuring high emotion. Well, I am part of the eye, so I need to read a book featuring a supernatural element. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can finish if we get a 6. A 2. 1, 2. Info gathering. Really need more trainings. Your mission is almost complete, but that doesn't mean the rebellion is over. Listen in to the guard's conversation to see what else you can learn. Match your book to your most recent song. Okay, let's see if we can get in one more roll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sounds kind of a free pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 prompts for this next round. And then what do we got left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 more to go after that. Not that I've read all of the originals yet, but at least that gives us a start for the next round. So let me figure out what I'm going to be reading for all of these ones, and I will get back to you in just a minute. While I was picking out books, I decided that for the 2 times I landed on objectives, I would just pick a training card for those. So I just picked a couple of random training cards and then picked books for those. So let's go ahead and start from the top. And the first roll was a 4, and that was objective 1. And so then I picked out a training card for that. This one is close quarters combat is a probability while in the mountain. Make sure your knife skills are up to par. Read a book with an isolated setting. And for that, I decided to go with Indian Fairy Tales by Joseph Jacobs. And I'm assuming there's going to be some isolated settings in the different stories that are in this one. Next, I got a side quest, and that was to read a book with a weapon on the cover. And for this one, I'm going to go with Ragna Crimson, and here's a sword right here. And this is by Oyaki Hobayashi. Next was a roadblock, and that was to read a book with a monster as a character. Yes, monster as a character. And for this one, I'm going to go with Blood Promise by Rochelle Mead, because there are vampires, but there's also Strigoi, which are kind of more evil vampires, where the vampires are called Moroi, and the Strigoi are the evil ones that go all crazy and don't discriminate between killing people and stuff. So yeah, that one. And then there was something about monsters in these prompts, because I got a side quest next, and that was to read a book with a creature on the cover. And for that one, I'm going to read Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw. Next was an info gathering prompt, and that was to read a book that you wouldn't want the person next to you on a train to see you reading. So kind of an embarrassing cover. Although I don't know if it would be embarrassing to have someone see this cover, but it might bring up some questions, and I may not want to talk while I'm on the train. Hummingbird by T.C. Parker. Because this one is, yeah, this one you'd have questions. Next was another objective, and I picked another training card, and this one says, this mission requires more than just brawn, you also need brains. Read up on your history so that you are fresh for anything that comes your way. Read a book that was published prior to your last read, and that will be easy because I will be reading The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. And this one is a while ago. Next was another side quest, and that was to read a comfort book or a comfort genre. And this one is a fantasy, and pretty much all fantasies are comfort reads and a comfort genre for me. And so for that, I'm going to read Halfway by Stephanie Voigt. Next was another info gathering prompt, and thunder. And for that, it was to read a book ending in an even number of pages, so an even page number. And for that one, I hope I can get it in time for my library, and that is 10 Incarnations of Rebellion by Vaishnavi Patil. And hopefully I get that in time. And if I don't get that one in time, then I will read The Sandman Volume 2, which is The Dollhouse. And it says that one is 232 pages long, so I'm going to take them at their word. Next was a roadblock, and that was to do a pet pick. So let's go ahead and see what Walter picked for me. Okay, so I have Halfway by Stephanie Void, Positively Poisonous. I don't remember who that's by off the top of my head. And then Eros, it's Eros, Agape, Philia. So those are the 3 books that I'm going to have Walter choose for me. And let's see if I can get him to come in here. Okay, got Walter here. Okay, choose one. Good boy. Thank you. So he picked Positively Poisonous, which is adorable because this is the book that I have with a pet in it. As you can see, Walter picked Positively Poisonous, which is super cute because it is spelled like a paw, and I believe there's a cat on the cover too, so that's going to be really fun. Next, I had another roadblock, and that was to read a book from another challenge, and I have many. So as a challenge, I could count another readathon, I could count a book club or read-along book, or even one of my like 25 and 2025 books, because I have a couple of them on my TBR this month too. And for that one, I'm going to go with Monstrous, and this is by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda, and I am really looking forward to this one. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And this one, oh, this one actually does have page numbers. Oh, not on every page. 200, 201, 202. Oh, see, this one ends on page 202, but this is page 203 if that counts. And then you have 204. So, I mean, this one could count for that too, for even page number if I need to. And then I had another roadblock, and that was to read a book with a number or a special character in the title. And for that one, I plan on reading What If by Randall Munroe, and there is a question mark in the title. And then next we had another training prompt. And for the I, this one had a different prompt depending on what guild, I guess, that you're in, and I'm in the I, and so that was to read a book featuring a supernatural element. And for that one, I could be wrong, but we'll see when I read it. I'm planning on going with Wind Warrior, and this is by John Messenger, and I'm assuming he is able to control the wind or do something, fight the wind, do something with the wind, which is kind of a supernatural element, I would think. But I do have quite a few other books I could put in here if I need to. Some other vampire books and things like that. So if I need to swap it out, I can do that. Ooh, I don't have it yet. But if I can get it in from the library, I'm first on the list. So as soon as it comes in, I get it. But it depends on when it gets here. So if I can get it, then The Raven Boys by Maggie Seavetter could work in here too. That's the graphic novel one, because there is some supernatural elements in that series. So I can use that one in case Wind Warrior doesn't work. And then I got another info gathering one, and that was to match a book to your most recent song. And the last couple ones, the last song I've really been kind of listening to because a song we did on Sunday for worship, and I played flute on it, and so I was practicing quite a bit, and that was Be Thou My Vision, and the song has a lot of elements of love and care and things like that in it. So I will be going with Eros, Philia, Agape, which are all different forms of love, and that is by Rachel Swirsky. Ooh, and this one is a Hugo and Locus Award finalist. So that's right there on the cover. So I could use this for Herkiad. Nice. All right, and then lastly, I ended up on, I rolled more than the amount of spaces on there, so I didn't have another prompt, so I thought I might as well throw another training prompt in there since I have a lot more of these than any of the other cards. And this is another one that has different prompts depending on what guild you're in. I don't remember what the term she used is, and I'm in the I, so that is to make sure you are able to call ghosts at will. Phone a friend for a sec. So that'll be pretty easy. I can call my sis. Okay, so that's it for the next round of Readathon Rebellion by Mel from Melanor Reads. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because Melanie's sprints are still going and the timer is about out. I want to be able to jump back in and join the chat in between the sprints. I know this one's going to be a little short and sweet, but that's all right. I do have some other videos coming up, so I do need to update my Herkiad spreadsheet, so I will be walking through that with you, as well as my Herkiad tracker in my journal. I will be going through that with you also. And then I have sprints coming up on Saturday, September 6th, and it'll be 9:30 a.m. Pacific, which is 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I would love for you to join me for those. I'm also going to be doing my 24-hour reading challenge for Herkiad that day. So join me and help me get through as many books as possible. I'm planning on doing the sprints for about 6 hours, depending on how my internet works out. I know it kind of died at the end of my last sprints and cut me off, and yeah, definitely had some technical issues, so hopefully those are resolved for this one. But I'm planning on going for about 6 hours, and I am hoping to read 10 books during that sprint. And I have quite a few books that are under 100 pages, so I'm planning on getting as many of those done as possible during that time period. So hopefully come and encourage me and join in the sprints and see what kind of reading you can get done, or if you just have some productivity things you need to do. Do you need to clean the house? Do you need to declutter? Do you need to organize some stuff? Do you need to write some reviews? Or whatever you need to do, come and join me for those sprints on Saturday. And if you made it this far in the video, leave some sort of hat emoji in the comments to let me know that you were here. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!